Sergeant, I'm going to move to a different topic. It's the topic of the cash that was found in your safe during the raid on 8 October. And
sorry, Chair, I'm a bit pressed. Can I?
Mr. Jen.
Wait 36 minutes before you ask to go again.
No, I wanted to be quick so that we must finish.
Yeah. But no, we'll never say no. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sergeant, on the 8th of October, when there was a search of your house, the police officers found 385,000 rands, 175 rands in cash in a safe in your house. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you explained to them that 5,175 was yours and the 380,000 was your brother's. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And the 385,000 was the purchase price that had been paid, well, was most of the purchase price that had been paid to your brother for the sale of a truck. 380,000 in cash was paid to your brother. There was an extra 20,000 outstanding. That's correct?
That's correct.
Now, you deal with that explanation in your statement, and you attach a range of annexures. So on page 4, you refer to these annexures of the statement. So you say, proof of purchase truck averred is attached as annexure B. Photos of the truck sold are attached as annexure D. Affidavit of the purchaser confirming the same is attached as annexure E. Sale agreement between seller and purchaser is attached as annexure F. So if we go to annexure B, it is an affidavit from your brother, who your brother Becky, whose full names are Abednego Bongani.
That's correct.
And he indicates that he's the owner of Ngape Share Construction and Projects, and he runs that business. And he sold his truck, and he gives the registration number. He says, I previously sold my truck to a man with registration, and he gives the registration number to Mr. Ngwato on behalf of the above-mentioned entity to Witten Ngapeshia for an amount of 380,000, as it was 6 years old in my possession, with intent to deposit a new truck to run the company in personal errands. He says that the previous registration number of the truck was DWJ 906MP. So his affidavit says that he sold the truck for a price of 380,000. Then we see a document that appears on page 15 of the statements bundle.
Page 15.
That's it. And it is called the sale agreement between Abednego Nkosi and Harting Wato. And it says, I, Abednego Bongani Nkosi, selling my truck, make man TGA 26.480 with registration number, with the amount of 400,000 to Mr. Harting Wato with the ID. He only paid the sum of 380,000 and promises to pay the balance of 20,000 in no time. Now, that document called the sale agreement is signed by your brother on the 7th of October 2025 and by the purchaser, Mr. Ngwato, on the 19th of December. So that document, certainly not in the form in which it is currently attached to your affidavit, that document couldn't have existed when your affidavit was commissioned, because that affidavit was commissioned on the 16th of December. You see, if you go back to page 4. So on the 16th of December, there couldn't have been a sale agreement that was signed on the 19th of December. Was there any sale agreement in existence on the 16th of December?
No, there was not.
So there was no sale agreement in existence on the 16th of December.
Okay, maybe I did not understood your question clearly.
The sale agreement that you've attached as Annexure F is if you go down to page 15 of that bundle, you'll see it's a document that's signed by the buyer
Yes.
on the 19th of December. Now, when you sent your affidavit, it didn't have the annexures. The affidavit was signed on the 16th of December. And you'll see on page 4 that the affidavit was signed on the 16th of December. So that document that we see at page 15 couldn't have existed when your affidavit was signed. It only came into existence 3 days later when it was signed on the 19th.
Interpreter?
Sorry?
No, I want the interpreter to interpret.
So, okay, let me start again. If we go to page 15, we see that the buyer's signature is dated 19 December.
Ku page 50 umuntu wayethenga i-truck leyo i-date yakhona ibhalwe ngeyi-19 zaka-December.
I-date asayine ngayo.
Isayinwe ngeyi-19 zaka-December.
Njalo.
But if we go back up to your affidavit, we see that your affidavit is dated 16 December. That's on page 4.
Mr. Siritsana?
Udwa i-date uma kubhekwa i-date kuleso statement sakho noma i-affidavit oyifakile, i-date yakhona ukuthi dated i-16 zaka December.
Ngiyayibona?
I see it.
Now, if you look at paragraph 17 of your affidavit, you'll see that the sale agreement that we've just looked at is supposed to be Annexure F to your affidavit that you signed on the 16th of December.
Ubheka kule affidavit yakho ku paragraph 17 ya affidavit ukuthi i-sale agreement leyo ifakile ku annexure F.
Akusingalandela Mr. Charles achaza ngakhona.
The last statement.
So if we look at paragraph 17 of your affidavit, which was signed on the 16th of December,
Ku paragraph 17 ya affidavit uyisayine nge-16 zaka December uma ubheka kuyo.
it says, the sale agreement between the seller and purchaser is attached as per Annexure F.
Kuthiwa isivumelwano sokuthengiselana phakathi komthengisi nomthengi ibhalwe i-date yakhona i-agreement izwe nge-19 zaka December. 17.
No,
Sorry.
please repeat the question.
It says, the sale agreement between seller and purchaser is attached as per Annexure F.
Mr. Skalson, I think the problem is there are 5 items there, or 6 items. So Sergeant Nkosi is struggling to find the item you are referring to. It's the second last item in paragraph 17. So that's what you are being referred to.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
You see it now?
now I see it.
Yeah.
Now, when we received the affidavit, it didn't have annexures. Should we interpret that, or are you happy to proceed without?
I have it.
You,
I heard you, yes.
you heard me.
Yes.
The annexures came later, after 19 December.
Your response, Sergeant Nkosi?
Okay?
Do you agree? You agree that the annexures came later? The annexures referred to in paragraph 17. Do you agree that they came later? That is later than the affidavit itself?
Yes, I agree, because if I remember getting the letter with that effect, that they are outstanding. But I would not remember exact the dates when I send them back again.
Now, the Annexure F that was ultimately sent to us, the Annexure F that we see on page 17, sorry, page 15, page 15,
1-5, yeah.
1-5. That annexure couldn't have existed when you signed your affidavit on the 16th of December because it was only finalized on the 19th of December. You see that?
Interpreter?
So i-annexure leyo ifakile noma i-affidavit leyo khulunywa ngayo ku-annexure F. Bongeke ukuthi ke ikhona futhi uyifake emuva hayi ngale date leyo noma uyibhalwe ngaleyo date leyo ukhuluma ngayo 16 zaka December.
Mr. Chaskalson, are you referring to the physical document or are you referring to a valid and binding sale agreement?
No, the physical document, not,
Physical
no, there may have been another sale agreement. I'm going to get to that later.
Ukhuluma ngesivumelwano sokuthengiselana.
Beyikhona,
Nkosi?
beyikhona.
Bukhona. Says I was there,
It was
but
there.
it was there.
But
This is
it's dated 19 December. So the signature of Mr. Ngwato is dated 19 December. So are you saying that that signature dated 19 December was there on 16 December?
Kuthiwa uMnumzana uNcwado isignature yakhe ikhuluma ukuthi dated nge-19 zaka December. Manje wena kule statement saka 16 uchaza ukuthi ke leso affidavit yakhona beyikhona ngaleyo date 16.
Cha, i-19 akunakuthi zingeza before i-15.
Angizwa?
I-19 akunakuthi zingeza before i-16.
There's no way that the 19th could come before the 16th.
That's what I thought too. So this document that we see, the document at Annexure F, it didn't exist when your affidavit was signed.
Le document okukhulunywa ngayo kwi-Annexure F beyingekho ngaleso sikhathi wena uyenza i-statement i-affidavit yakho nge-16 zaka December.
Beyikhona, kodwa beyingasayinwanga.
It was there, but it was not signed.
I see. So it was there, but not unsigned. Had you seen it?
Ukuthi bekhona kodwa bengasayinwanga uye wayibona na?
Mangifaka imininingwane yonke bekade ifuneka bengifake konke.
When I submitted all the documents that were required, I included everything.
So had you seen an unsigned version of that affidavit, of that sale agreement?
Ngabe wena i-sale agreement leyo engasayinwanga uye wayibona na?
Kunjalo.
That's correct?
If we go to page 7, we see your brother's affidavit. You see it?
Kunjalo.
I see it.
He says that he sold his truck for an amount of 380,000. You see that?
Uthi wadayisa i-truck yakhe for imali engango 380,000 rand. Uyayibona lapho?
Kunjalo.
That's correct.
He says nothing about 400,000.
Akukho la khuluma khona ngo 400,000 rand.
Kunjalo.
That's correct.
And his affidavit is commissioned on the 19th of December, we see on page 8, also by Mr. Ngwato. You see that?
Kunjalo.
That's correct.
Now, according to you, both your brother and Mr. Ngwato knew that the real purchase price was 400,000.
Uthi ukuya ngawe ukudayiselana kwale truck phakathi kobhuti wakho kanye no Mr. Ngwato kuya ngawe yi-400 bayathengiselana ngo-400,000 rand.
Kunjalo.
That's correct.
So why does your brother's affidavit speak of a purchase price of 380,000?
Manje kungani i-affidavit kabhuti wakho ikhuluma ngokuthi bathengiselana ngo-380,000 rand?
Kukhona nalapho ethi ubaba uNgwato ubhadale i-380 outstanding ye-20,000 khona kula.
There is where he stated that Mr. Nwato paid the amount of 380 and there is a balance of about 20,000 rand.
But that's not what he says in his affidavit. If you go to page 7,
Kodwa akusi logo akushoyo ku affidavit yakhe napana ku page 7.
you'll see paragraph 4
Bheka ku paragraph 4
is where he deals with the price.
kula khulunywa khona ngeprice.
I aver further that I previously sold my truck to a man with registration number KN33RNGP to Mr. Hartley Nwato on behalf of above-mentioned entity, to wit Ngapeshare Construction, for an amount of 380,000 rands, as it was 6 years old in my possession with intent to deposit a new truck to run the company in personal errands. I further state that the previous registration was DWJ. You see that? There's no mention of 400,000.
Uthi uyabona kuleso statement affidavit leyo akukho khona la khuluma khona ngo 400,000.
Ngokwazi kwami nangesivumelane sakhe i-truck behamba ngo-400,000 yingako mawuvula lapha ku-annexure E page 13 uzothola lapho uMr. Nwato echaza khona kangcono noma kalula ukuthi i-price noma inani le-trucker kwaku-400 outstanding kwaku-20,000.
According to me and my knowledge, and also what I know, I heard, now if you check on annexure E, page 13, there is where Mr. Nwato explains clearly about the purchase price of about 400,000.
Yes, I see that in Mr. Nwato's affidavit, but it's not in your brother's affidavit. He just says the price was 380,000.
Uyakubona lokho ku affidavit ka Mr. Nwato kodwa ku affidavit ka bhuti wakho akukho la kukhulunywa khona ngaleyo mali 400,000.
Ngingeke ngijule kakhulu kuloko kubhalwe umfowethu kodwa ngiyaqabanga ukuthi ngesikhathi ebhala ubekade ebhala into ebekade iphethwe kuyena ewu-380.
I won't go deeper into what my brother have said, but I believe that when he was writing, that he was talking about what he had in his hand. When he mentioned the price of 380.
Well, we may have to ask your brother about this, but it's not what he says in paragraph 4. He says he sold his truck for an amount of 380,000.
Uthi akusiyiloko akushoyo umfowenu ukhuluma ukuthi uthengise i-truck ngemali engango 380,000 rand.
Now, if the agreement of sale that we see on page 15 existed at the time that your brother had deposed to his affidavit, do you think it's likely that he as the seller would have said the purchase price is 380, not 400,000?
Uma kubheka lapha ku page 15 kuleyo affidavit, uma kwenza leso sivumelane sokuthengiselana, ngabe ubhuti wakho wayengeke aze akhulume ngaleyo amount ye 380,000 ukuthi bathengiselana ngayo?
ngicela uphinde futhi leyo mbuzo ngifuna ukuzwa ukuthi ngothola nje kahle.
Mr. Nkosi requests that the question be repeated. Mr. Charlson?
If the agreement of sale providing for a 400,000 purchase price existed at the time that your brother deposed to his affidavit, do you think it is likely that he, the seller who was entitled to the price, would he have mentioned the price as 380,000, not 400,000?
Kuthiwa ngalesikhathi ubhuti wakho asayina i-affidavit yakhe yokuthengiselana, ucabanga ukuthi-ke bekungeke yena ubhalwe i-amount leyo 400,000 rand ukuthi bathengiselane ngayo?
God, you wanted to say something, Chair, or maybe?
Please respond. You are already beginning to.
Oh, maybe I wanted to make it one package, but let me separate them.
Wayengabhala u 380,000 uma babevumelene ngo 400,000.
Mawubheka lapha ku annexure F ithi isivumelano sokuthengiselana uyichazile ukuthi uthengisa nge 400,000 and then kubhadalwa u 380 kuzosala u 20,000.
Umnumzana Shaskalson ukubuza ngalokhu okubhalwe ku paragraph 4 where affidavit come forward.
Yebo mphathi.
Ya manje ufuna ukuqonda ukuthi wayengabhala kanje umfowenu uma babevumelene ngo 400,000.
Bese ngumphendulile kulokho ngithi maybe kungabe umfowethu ubhale lokho ebekade kuphethe leso sikhathi esandleni, kodwa kuyabuya futhi ku F uyachaza kalula ukuba itracker ithengiswe ngo 400,000 kodwa kwakhokhwa u 380.
On what he said or he mentioned was that the truck was sold at, or the agreement was about 308, and he didn't mention the 400,000, and there is an indication on F where it is indicated that the truck was sold at 380 and the balance of 20,000 rand was outstanding.
I see that in F, but it's not in your brother's affidavit.
Ukuthi kuyabonakala laphana ku annexure F, kodwa ke ku affidavit kabhuti wakho ayikho.
If we go to F, which is put forward as the agreement of sale, it's a sale agreement between your brother and Mr. Ngwato, who is an attorney. Is that not right?
Ukuthi uma babheka lapho ku sivumelwano sokuthengiselana siphakathi komfowenu kanye no Mr. Ngwato okumele.
Kunjalo.
That's correct?
Does this look to you like an agreement of sale that one would ordinarily see where one of the parties is an attorney?
Kuthiwa kuwe kuyabonakala na kuye kubonakala ukuthi ke isivumelano lesi singaba khona phakathi komuntu othengisayo nalo okumele. Ukuthi be khona isivumelwano phakathi komuntu kanye nomeli sokuthengiselana i-truck.
I'm not sure that that's accurate. Can you please repeat the question?
You see, well, let me ask it differently. Attorneys are used to drafting agreements of sale, are they not?
Uthi abameli bayebona bazidraftele ama-agreement.
Bajwayele
Bajwayele ukudraftela ama-agreement
ama-agreement wokuthengiselana.
okuthengiselana.
Kunjalo?
That's correct.
And what provisions one needs to put into an agreement of sale to protect their clients?
Kuyini okufanele kufakwe lapho ku-agreement yokuthengiselana?
Bajwayele nokufaka imininingwane ekufanele ukuthi ifakwe ukuprotecta ngesizulu uthini?
Ukuvikela.
Ukuvikela ama-client wabo. Ukuvikela amalungelo ama-client wabo. Ngiphinde bajwayele nokuthi bafake imininingwane yokuvikela amalungelo ama-client wabo. Uyavuma? Abameli usakhuluma ngabameli.
Abameli ngiyabonga mphathi. Bengifuna ukuthi umnumzane eqale kahle ukuthi umfethu angichazele yona kancane khona ukuza so ngoba mayima
awuyifuni mayivela kini.
cha ngiyayizwa izwakala kancane kamnandi futhi ukudlula mayiza ngapha manje ngifuna ukuthi manje siyehlangana kube inkulumo eyodwa ngikwazi ukuyiphendula ngiyayi appreciate futhi mayiza ngakuwe mphathi.
He wants it coming from Mr. Siritsani.
Maybe repeat it, Mr. Chaskalson, and then it gets interpreted in full.
So we've already established that attorneys are used to drafting agreements of sale,
Kunjalo?
So it's correct.
and they are used to including clauses in an agreement of sale that are designed to protect the interests of their clients.
Bajwayele futhi nokufaka eminye imininingwane ezobangela ukuthi ke kuprotecteke amalungelo wama-client wabo.
Kunjalo?
That's correct.
So when one sees an agreement of sale drafted by an attorney,
Manje uma umuntu ebona i-sale of agreement, isivumelwano sokuthengiselana esidrafte ngummeli,
it usually includes a whole range of clauses
kufakelwa ama-clause nje amaningi
that are designed to protect a client's interests
lawo ke awenzela ukuthi kuvikelwe amalungelo womthengi noma i-client yabo,
and may not, and their meaning may not be immediately apparent to a layperson.
the meaning.
Their meaning may not be immediately apparent to a legally untrained person.
Futhi okubhalwe lapho lokhu kuthiwa kuvikela amalungelo wama-client wabo. Ukuzwisisa angeke umuntu ongazi ngomthetho akwazi lokho.
Have you seen an agreement of sale drafted by an attorney?
Uke wayibona i-sale of agreement ebhalwe ngummeli, edraftwe ngummeli?
Cha?
No.
You see, this agreement of sale looks like a document that is really your brother simply confirming that he sold the truck.
Uma ubuka le affidavit ibukeka sengathi ubhuti wakho obhala nje ukuthi i-agreement ukuthi ke bathi uthengiselana i-truck.
It doesn't have dates for payments of the balance of the purchase price.
Ayichazi imininingwane yama-date ukuthi ke i-sale price.
It doesn't have provisions dealing with any,
Ayisho lutho ukuthi bathengiselene nini bazobhatalana nini. Uyavuma ibheke.
Ngiyavuma ngisabheke nayo into mara ngiyavuma ngiyabonga mphathi.
Please interpret. Please, Mr. Siritsana, please interpret the answer.
Kuthi akubhalwanga ukuthi
He has already responded. Please interpret the response.
I agree. Sorry.
It doesn't have provisions dealing with ownership and risk of the truck until the final purchase price is paid, the full purchase price is paid.
Akukhulumi ngemininingwane yama-riski kuleyo truck nokuthi ke ibalance izokhokhelwa nini.
Do you agree, Mr. Sergeant Nkosi?
Uyavumelana lokho?
Engifuna ukuthola kahle ukuthi umnumzana uCharleston uyangibuza noma uyangitshela ngikwazi ukuthi ngiphendule kuliphi uhlangothi.
Yes, he's asking you. What he's putting to you are propositions.
Uthi uyakubuza lokho akushoyo uloko akutshela kona.
And he wants to know if you agree.
Uthi uzawuthi nangabe uyavumelana nakho.
Ngiyavuma kwelinye uhlangothi kodwa angeke ngaphawula ukuya kuphi ngalesivumelwano sale agreement.
I partly agree, but I won't go into details on the sale of the agreement of sales.
Ngoba mhla umfowethu no Mr. Ngwatu babenza lesivumelwano ngangingekho kodwa ngiyasibona siyachaza ukuthi umnumzana uNgwatu uzokhokha kumaduze.
I was not present when the sale of agreement was made between my brother and Mr. Nwatu, but it appears that that there will be a payment made in due course.
Futhi kuyahluka kwabantu ababili abenza isivumelwano kuya ngokuthembana kwabo ukuthi kukhona imigomo ekumele ifakwe lapho noma ingafakwa kodwa angiko phawula ngakuyo ngoba.
And it also differs from the people that are engaged in an agreement of sale, whether they include the clauses that indicate when are they going to pay each other or not, and that it depends on the trustworthy of people.
You see what it looks like. Sorry, let me make one last observation about this this contract. The contract is dated. Your brother's signature is dated 7 October 2025.
I-signature kabudwakho i-datwe nge-7 October 2025.
You see that?
Uyayibona lo? Sorry?
Kunjalo.
That's correct.
And was your brother paid on the 7th of October 2025?
Ngabe ubudwakho wakhokhelwa ngomhla ka-7 ku-October 2025?
Kunjalo.
That's correct.
And it was just an incredible stroke of misfortune that the very next day you were raided and the money was found and seized.
And kube nesho ukuthi ke ngalelo langa elilandelayo kuyareyitwa lapho kuwe kutholakala leyo mali esafini.
Umbuzo ori
Uyakutshela ukuthi ngalelo langa futhi ubudwakho ukuthi ukhokhelwe nge-7 zaka-October ngo-2025. Kuthi nge-8 ilanga elilandelayo wena kuyareyitwa kuwe kutholakala imali leyo kuwe.
kwenzakale kanjalo.
That's how it happened.
Because what this looks to me from the outside is an attempt to explain the presence of 380,000 rands in cash in your safe.
Uma umuntu ubheka from ngaphandle ukuthi impendulo ukuthi ke ukuzama ukuvikela ukutholakala kwaleyo mali endaweni yakho.
There are so many anomalies. Anomalies.
Mr. Skelton, I'm worried that the way you put it, when it gets translated, the witness will concede what you are saying. When you say an attempt, you mean a contrived attempt?
Well, I don't want to say it's a contrived attempt because I don't know whether, I can't say there was no sale of a truck. But it does seem to me that the documentation that was put together was documentation put together for the purpose of explaining this cash. The documents as opposed to the sale itself. Because the documents have so many anomalies in them, anomalies, inconsistencies in them. I don't know how much of that I need to repeat.
My difficulty remains because I don't think Sergeant Nkosi quibbles with your proposition that the affidavits, if you look at the dates, explain how he came into possession of the money. If that's what is put to him, naturally he will say yes.
Well, what I do want to put to you is that these documents were created after the event to try to explain how the money came into your safe.
Umuntu akutshela ke ukuthi ke lama document lawa awafakwa ayenzwa ngesizathu sokuthi kuzama ukuphendula indlela leyo ukuthi ke ukuthi imali leyo itholakale kuwe.
Cha,
No,
nyala.
I'll deny.
You see, the sale doesn't look like a sale that was put together by an attorney.
Kodwa ukuthengiselana noma isivumelwano sokuthengiselana asiveli njengesivumelwano esadraftwa ngummeli.
The sale is signed after the affidavit that refers to it.
Nokusana khona emva kwaleyo affidavit okukhulunywa ngayo.
The seller's affidavit doesn't mention that the purchase price is 400,000 as opposed to 380,000.
Ukuthi isivumelwano sokuthengiselana asichazi ukuthi ke imali abathengiselana ngayo 400,000 rand kunokuthi kubhalwe 380,000.
How do you explain those inconsistencies?
Uchaza kanjani lokungafani kwenkulumo?
Maybe isivumelano sakhe umholi wendaba asikusho lokho. Kodwa lesi sikimi manje page 15 annexure F siyachaza ukuthi imali kwaku 400 ibalance kuzoba 20,000.
Mr. Chairperson, please repeat the question. The interpretation was not accurate. It did not focus on the affidavit of the seller, which I understood your question to relate to.
The seller's affidavit, not the agreement, but the seller's affidavit.
I-affidavit lebavumelana ngayo ukuthi bayathengiselana iyo bakhuluma ngayo.
So, no, the affidavit, please repeat, Mr. Chairperson.
The seller's affidavit.
Mr. Skelton, we're going to run into this problem. The brother's affidavit.
Okay. Your brother's affidavit.
I-affidavit kamfowenu.
I think maybe we must maybe replace the interpreter because I don't want to be misinterpreted. At the end of the day, I say something that I don't mean, and I'll fight with my honorable commissioners. I don't know if I'm correct, Commissioner. And it would not be fair. It's disrespect from my side when I say, Commissioner or Chairperson, can you interpret while we have the interpreter? I'm just saying that maybe not to change, but at least to have more understanding. Not in a bad way, my brother, because of this is.
We'll just have a chat with the commission secretary. Let's continue, Mr. Chaskalsin, until 1 o'clock. Sergeant Nkosi, asizame kushaya i-lunch hour. Sizame nje kancane sibone ukuthi kuqhubeka kanjani.
No problem, man.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes,
thank you.
yes. The commission secretary says that she's going to see if we can get a replacement over the lunch hour. Yes, Mr. Chaskas.
Your brother's affidavit doesn't mention a purchase price of 400,000. It mentions only 380,000.
Kuthiwa ku-affidavit kabhuti wakho ayikhulumi nge-purchase price ye-400,000 rand. Kodwa ikhuluma ngo-380,000.
Your brother is the one who is ostensibly owed the extra 20,000. Your brother would be owed the extra 20,000.
Uthi ubhuti wakho wakoletwa i-20,000 rand.
Kunjalo.
That's correct?
So if anyone was not going to mention the extra 20,000, we wouldn't expect your brother not to mention the extra 20,000.
Nangaba akukho umuntu okhuluma ngayo i-20,000 rand leyo, bengeke kulindwe ukuthi ubhuti wakho a-expecte i-20,000 rand.
Can you repeat that, Mr. Chas?
Your brother, if the price was 400,000, was owed another 20,000.
Yes.
So why would he not mention that he was owed another 20,000?
But he mentioned it on a sales
Not-
agreement.
Not in his affidavit.
Not akukho ku-affidavit yakhe.
Yes, I saw that.
So what I'm putting to you is that these documents have the appearance of documents that were put together in a hurry to try to explain the 380,000 rands, and are not documents that existed at the time.
Kuthiwa uyatshela ukuthi lama document ahlanganiswe ngokushesha ukwenzela ukuvala indaba le 380,000 rand.
Cha, ngiyala, akunjalo.
No, I deny that.
It's not like that.
Has-
Phela.
Has the extra 20,000 rands been paid now?
In what?
The extra 20,000 rands, has it been paid now?
Kuthiwa i-20,000 rand le seyiyabhatalwa.
Angazi,
I
azange
don't-
ngabuza.
I don't know, I haven't heard about it.
Chair, we've come to 1 o'clock. I don't want to push further on this topic unless there are questions.
Let's adjourn and resume at 2 p.m. Good afternoon, Ms. Tole, and welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, it is on.
I see it is. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Discuss if, are you moving off this which you were discussing? All right, let me maybe then raise my own concerns before you do that. Sergeant, in that affidavit, I just want to raise my concerns about the documents that you were discussing with Mr. Chaskalson. And I raise them again to say because they make the transaction questionable for me, your explanation for this money. Now, if you look, maybe let's start at that statement bundle, the one of, I think it's one of file 1, that statement bundle. And then let me ask first.
Utuma abheka ke umqulu wamaphepha uzobuza kuqala lokho kulandelayo.
Mr. Tole, what we do to save time is that you only interpret when Sergeant Nkosi requests you to. All those questions where he understands, has no problem, he just answers directly
I understand,
without
thank
the
you.
interpreter. Yeah. So you'll wait for his indication.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this is in the theme of anomalies on these documents, and therefore that make the explanation for the money that was found on you to be questionable. If you look at page 11 of that bundle, which is Annexure D1, and then you have the same thing at D2, which is page 12. It's a picture of a truck. Why did you include this as an annexure to your document? What was the purpose of including it as an annexure to your statement?
Thank you, Commissioner. I think, Commissioner, it was just a proof to show that what am I talking about.
Okay. Now, when you look at Annexure B at page 7, it gives us 2 registration numbers, right? Annexure B at page 7, that's Peggy's affidavit. It gives us KN33RNGP, and then it gives us the registration number that we see in the picture, which is DWJ906MP, right? Now, without an explanation why we have 2 different registration numbers, I'm unable, speaking for myself, to accept that this is the truck that in fact is the subject of the sale. You understand what I'm explaining?
Yes,
Because you have those 2 different registration numbers. So it doesn't serve, to have the picture here, it doesn't serve the purpose that you intended. That's the first thing. The second thing, which is an anomaly, again, if you look at page 7, that same page 7, which is Peggy's affidavit, and then this time you look at page 13, which is the affidavit of Mr. Nwatu. The registration number is different. So in paragraph 4 of Peggy's affidavit, you find it at paragraph 4, it's KN33RNGP. And then when you go to, no, that one is correct. So let me leave that point. In fact, it's in the agreement itself. If you can just turn to the agreement at page 15. The agreement is at page 15, Annexure F. The registration number is a different registration number. Okay, so that's the other difference. It may well be that it's a typo, but there's no explanation that it's a typo. It's different. And then go back to page...
You do see the difference, eh?
I do.
One
I'll
starts
explain,
with,
yes.
all right.
Okay, maybe then, as I point out something and you want to explain, you say you can explain it, just so that things don't get lost. Let me allow you to explain. Indicate to me when you want to intervene at that point or to interject. You say you want to explain these differences in registration numbers.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I think here in page 7, paragraph number 4, maybe my brother here wanted it to be clear that what is the current registration number of the said vehicle and of which one was the previous. So he put it on those bases just to make it clearer.
Okay, all right. It may well be that is the explanation, but it's not what the documents say, right? The document, including the agreement, the sale agreement, it says, I bought truck with that registration number. And then, lastly from me, and this for me is very important, it is at page 7. This is Beggy's affidavit. He says, he owns a company, and on behalf of that company, Ngapesheya, he sold that truck on behalf of Ngapesheya. But when you look at the agreement at page 15, there's absolutely no mention of Ngapesheya. It is Beggy who's selling the truck, his truck. That's according to this agreement. Look at page 15. In fact, even Mr. Ngwatu's affidavit makes no mention whatsoever of Ngapesheya. He says he bought the truck from Mr. Nkosi, from Abednego Nkosi. You see the difference?
Yes.
And the significance of that for me is if this was a sale, a sale by Ngapesheya, the documents would be reflecting that. And these documents don't reflect a sale by your brother's company to Mr. Ngwatu, and therefore they make their validity or their purpose to be suspect. And suspect, and in fairness to you, let me put to you that it makes it difficult to accept that these documents were indeed prepared in pursuance of a legitimate sale of a truck. And the likely explanation is what Mr. Cheskalson put to you, that they seem to have been a creation to explain why you had the 380, you say 85, why you had the money in your safe or in your possession, as you say, because these documents, the collective of them, just doesn't make sense. Do you want to comment?
Yes. Commissioners, Ngapesheya is owned by Peggy. So when he said he's selling it on behalf of the company, I believe he meant that it was used by the company Ngapesheya. As he's the sole director of that company, going forward, that is how he expressed himself on the one who's making that particular agreement or that particular sale.
Thank you. Thanks, Sergeant.
Thank you.
Sergeant Nkosi, did you ever ask from your brother why he had been paid in cash? Why Mr. Ngwato had paid him in cash?
Not necessarily that maybe it was a point of concern from me. He just brought the money to me, and then when I asked him, he said, no, it was a sale from Mr. Ngwato. But honestly, I did not see any problem with that.
You are a police officer, you know about money laundering. Should you not have inquired? Did such a huge sum of money in cash not have raised alarm bells in your head? 380,000 rand, that's a lot of money in cash.
Commissioners, knowing my brother and knowing Mr. Ngwato that they are both business people, I did not see any problem on the issue of that money at that time.
Not all businesses are cash businesses. Can you explain why you would not have thought of why the money was in cash? You are a police officer. You are a police officer.
Yes, I am. I agree on that, Commissioner. Not maybe to get into details about Mr. Ngwato's business. One thing that I know that he ran auctions in terms of the animals. He ran pubs. He ran boat clubs. So to me, it was not a shock when my brother came with that sum of money because knowing what kind of businesses, some that have been conducted by Mr. Ngwato.
All right. I guess that's an explanation. Thank you.
Sorry.
Did you ever come upon a receipt of proof of payment of this money from Mr. Ngwato to your brother?
At that time, my brother only showed me, I think it was a sale agreement or the proof, something like that, that was only signed solely by him that he sold his truck to Mr. Ngwato and then he signed it, but Mr. Ngwato and the vice versa did not sign. It was only my brother.
And when you deposed to your statement, why did it not occur to you to request proof that this is money that was paid indeed in relation to the truck? Because you are putting evidence before us to explain the money. And it would seem to me it's a very relevant and important part of your evidence and statement to give us proof. That's why you've given us pictures of the truck. That's why you've given us the agreement. It's because you want to show us that this was money properly received by your brother. And the most obvious for me would have been a receipt, even if it's a handwritten receipt, that shows that your brother received this amount from Mr. Ngwato.
According to my understanding then, it was this one of an extra 15, if I'm not mistaken, Commissioners. That my brother told me that they had an agreement with Mr. Ngwato.
Okay, so you didn't ask him for a receipt? You
No.
just got this? Thank you.
Just a point of clarification. You'll recall that over the weekend, you, through Mr. Ngwato, attempted to complain about language that I had used when I questioned you on Friday to avoid something, but in the end, I was made to understand that you accepted that you were mistaken and that I had not said the things that you were attributing to me through Mr. Ngwato. Just to avoid something similar, I am not at all suggesting that Mr. Ngwato was involved in money laundering. I'm just asking you whether the fact of being paid in cash would not have raised alarm bells that, hey, is this not possibly the money laundering? I'm not saying Mr. Ngwato is involved in money laundering, just to make sure I don't get something similar to what I got over.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Sergeant Nkosi, do you remember early this morning you were asked about your handwritten statement?
Yes, I correct.
The one on 1335, and you were asked how that statement came about. Do you remember that?
That's correct.
And you explained that the statement came about as a result of the raid on the 8th of October 2024. Do you remember that?
That's correct.
Yes. Can you just explain to us why you did not mention this transaction in that handwritten statement? This transaction about the truck and the 380,000. Why is it not mentioned in that handwritten statement?
Okay. I think the reason that this money was not mentioned is because of by the time I was writing or finishing the statement, it was never mentioned to me that they're going to confiscate that money.
It was not mentioned to you that day?
It was not clearer if they're going to confiscate the money or not. That is the reason I did not.
And what was the money confiscated on the same day?
Yes, that's correct.
Why did you not make a statement subsequent to the confiscation? Why did you not make a further statement explaining the source of those funds?
Okay, the reason that I did not write down is because of as I was verbally explaining to the officers who came to my house, they seemed not adamant to confiscate the money. So I thought that no, let me just leave it because of the money will be left in my.
No, my question is different. You say the money was confiscated. So my question is, after it was confiscated, why did you not make a statement explaining the source of the money and how it came to be in your possession?
No, already I was finished to write this statement.
No, I understand that. After the money was taken, or maybe 2 days after, or 3 days after, or 5 days after, why did you not give a statement to the police explaining the source of those funds and how they came into your possession? Why do you wait until you are asked by the commission in December 2024? The period between October and December is a long period.
I
Why
agree.
at any stage between the 8th of October 2024 and, is it 2025, and December 16, 2025, when you deposed to an affidavit for the commission, why did you not explain the source of those funds?
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. The reason that I did not explain at that particular time, I was waiting for the people who confiscated such money to come and make a follow-up on of where did I took that money, as I've verbally explained to them. So that was when I was going to.
So you did not have interest in getting your brother's money back?
You can ask them, I was phoning each and every day looking for that money.
But you never explained to them that the money was legitimately in your possession and it's not proceeds of crime?
I did.
And then, do you accept that nowhere in any of the annexures you provided to us does anybody say that cash exchanged hands between Mr. Ngwato and your brother? In other words, there was no EFT transaction or there was no payment in another form. Nobody in any of these documents is saying that the purchase price was paid in hard cash. Do you accept that? I mean, if you read Mr. Ngwato's statement, nowhere does he say he gave your brother cash. Do you see that?
But let me just go back a bit in the statement maybe to check with my brother's statement.
Let's start with Mr. Ngwato's one on page 30. At paragraph 4. What he does is he mentions the sale price, but he does not say, I gave Abednego cash. Do you see that?
Yes, but in my brother's statement, Annex B, page 7, it states that he gave me cash.
Where does he say that?
Paragraph 5.
He says I handed the purchase money Aved to my elder brother.
Yes.
But that's a different point. He doesn't say Mr. Ngwato gave him cash.
But the issue here, Chair, not sorry, I mentioned Chair by mistake. Honorable, is that cash was handed to me.
No, that's
according
a
to
different
my
issue.
understanding.
Listen to me. Your brother does not say Mr. Ngwato gave him cash. Do you accept that?
But he talks about money, Council.
Mr. Sergeant Nkosi, if there are three people involved in a transaction, I can withdraw money from an ATM or I can go inside a bank and withdraw money. It doesn't mean I obtained that money from somebody else. So my point is that although he says he gave you purchased money, he does not say Mr. Ngwato gave him cash. That's my point.
But still on that note, even if he does not state that he gave him cash, but here he mentioned cash. So it does not necessarily that Mr. Ngwato did not give him cash.
I'm not sure you're understanding me. Let's leave it there. Now let's go to page 1, your affidavit. Maybe on page 3, it starts on page 1. But the part where you deal with this is on page 3, paragraph 15. You also do not say in that paragraph that you were given physical cash, which you stored in your car or in your house. You simply say, I aver further that the averred money was accumulated from the truck my brother sold, and that he was intending to purchase another truck for his company.
Sorry, Commissioner, is paragraph what?
Paragraph 15 on page 3 of the same bundle.
Okay.
Do you see that from line 4? All you say is that I aver further that the above money was accumulated from the truck my brother sold and that he was intending to purchase another truck for his company. Do you see that?
That's correct.
So you don't say when, as in the date when you were given cash, how it came to you, what you did with it, how it came about that it was in your possession. You just say in passing that these are proceeds of a sale of a truck, my brother wanted to buy another truck. That's really all you say. And in circumstances where you are called before a commission of inquiry to explain the source of such a large sum of money in your possession, this is not satisfactory. And I'm going to use stronger language than the one used by Advocate Chaskalson, that it appears to me that this is a contrived transaction put together to hide something even bigger than what we are looking at. Do you want to comment on that? And I think maybe to be fair to you, the interpreter must, I can't think of a simpler word than contrived. It's made up. It's a fictitious transaction. Do you want to comment? That it appears to me that this is a made-up sale transaction. It doesn't look like a real sale transaction to me.
No,
I'm not stating it as a fact, to be fair to you, just so that we are clear. I'm putting a proposition to you, which you have the right to either dispute or to confirm.
No, I dispute what the commissioner is saying.
To you, this is a valid transaction.
A valid transaction.
And do you know if the truck was delivered to Mr. Ngwatu? Do you know if a truck ever exchanged hands?
I would not know, but I think so.
Why would you not know if your brother sold a truck to Mr. Ngwatu? Why would you not know whether he has delivered it to Mr. Ngwatu or not?
Okay.
Have you seen the truck in your brother's possession after the sale?
What I know, after Mr. Ngwato paid the money, he did not take the cash. He did not take the truck.
So the truck
immediately.
remained in your brother's possession?
At that time, I don't know now. But at that time, Mr. Ngwato did not.
At the time that you deposed to the affidavit, where was the truck?
It was still with my brother, if I'm not
It was still
mistaken.
with your brother?
Yes.
So do you see why, from where I'm sitting, it looks like this is a made-up transaction? Because if you are selling a truck to somebody, one of the ways of proving that you have sold the truck is you deliver it to the purchaser. How is it that the truck was not delivered to the purchaser if this is a genuine sale transaction?
I'm not saying by the time I deposited the statement, the truck was still in my brother.
No, but that's what you said when I asked you, Sergeant Nkosi.
Okay. What I'm saying maybe is that maybe I'm quick to answer, or maybe I'm misunderstood by the commission. It can be like that. I'm saying by the time Mr. Ngwatu paid for the truck, he did not take it immediately.
When did he take it?
I would not know. I don't know.
So on the 16th of December, when you deposed to your affidavit, was the truck still with your brother?
It was with Mr. Ngwatu. I believe so. He will.
No,
my
you
brother
don't
will
know.
be.
If you're not sure, you must say you're not sure. But
I'm
you
not
can't
sure.
say I believe so.
I'm not sure.
Where was the truck on the 16th of December, 2025?
I don't know.
You don't know. Ms. Chaskalson, thank you.